Hey everyone, Lucas Gillespie here with the WoWinSchool project, and it's time for another tutorial for newcomers. So I just want to give you a brief introduction to the WoW user interface. So I've started a new character. This is my little dwarf paladin named Roarmac. And Roarmac is clearly in the middle of a lot of action here amongst his fellow dwarves. It looks like there's an invasion of these rock jaws. These are trogs that are kind of encroaching on the dwarf territory, and they're trying to defend themselves against them. So I bet they're going to want you to help at some point. So anyway, let's take a look at things here. This little window that pops up, and these will pop up periodically, are tutorial windows. And if you're new to the game, these tutorials are going to show up from time to time as you progress through the game. So think with your teacher lenses on, look at how the game is providing you that just-in-time interaction and instruction to scaffold your learning and really get you acclimated to something that is very new and very complex. Now we know this is complex because you look at all this action here on the screen and all this interface. So let me just help out a little bit and show you some of the different components of the user interface. So up here in the upper left corner is my character badge or name, and this shows a picture of me, a little kind of little inset picture there. It shows my current level, which is level 1, my name, and then my health. Okay, so my health is going to be here, and depending on what class you've chosen, you'll either have mana or energy or something like that here. Okay, now down here below that, and I'm going to click to kind of make it show up a little more, is my my chat window. Now there's not a lot of action going on in the chat window right now because there's not a lot of folks around talking, but you'll notice if you move into a big city or you're in a guild that this is going to be pretty much a constant stream of people talking and chatting. If I want to contribute to that, I simply hit my enter key, and you'll notice that it pops up here saying say. Say is one of the ways of communicating with people, and I'm just going to say hello. And you'll notice that it pops up in the chat, and also my character set it showed up in a little bubble right here. And I can scroll up and down and looking at the different chats that are here. Okay, so that's the chat window. That's another tutorial we can talk more about later. Let's move on through the interface here. So here are my action buttons. Now right now I have 2 action buttons. Again, notice how this game eases you up and gets you to master a few basic things, and then as you progress through the game you're going to get more and more things to add to your sort of repertoire of skills and abilities. So for me as a paladin right now, all I pretty much have is this ability called Crusader Strike. Notice that if I put my mouse over it, over on the right side, and I'll do this a couple times because I can't have my mouse in 2 places at once, over on the right side a little window pops up that tells me a little bit about that ability. Don't worry all about those different facts and figures right now. You'll learn more about those as you play the game. And then all of these skill ability windows are empty, but as I progress through the game, level 2, level 3, level 4, these will begin to fill up with new things and new abilities that kind of expand what I can do in the world. So here's another one called Stone Form, and this is a racial ability, something that's unique to dwarves that allows them to survive a little better in the world maybe. Okay. You'll also notice that these buttons here, as they begin to fill in, will have numbers on them. So this one will be number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. All the way over to 0. And then eventually I think maybe minus and equals. Basically what that means is that they correspond to keyboard. So if you want to use your keyboard to cast that spell, you can. Oh, and he says I need a target, so I've actually got to find something to click on to be able to do it. I don't see anything close by, so I'm going to wait. We'll do that later. Let me continue on through the tutorial. Let's take a look at these buttons down here. So my first window here is character info. Now you'll notice that it says C beside that. That means I can either click this to get it to come up, or I can hit my letter C on my keyboard and get that to come up as well. So character info gives me a little picture of my character, and I can rotate him around like this, and it'll show you all the different equipment and gear that he has on. Now right now I'm a new player to the game, so he doesn't have a lot on right now. He's got his shirt and his pants, thank goodness, and some boots, and a mallet, a battle-worn hammer equipped, and he can go bonk things on the head with that if he needs to. And as I explore the world, I might find things like a hat, or some shoulder pads, or a cloak that I can wear on my back, and all of those things will probably make my character a little tougher, a little harder to hit, and things like that if I'm in a battle. Okay. You'll also notice down here is a reputation tab. Don't worry too much about that. That's something you can worry about later in the game. Alright, so I'm going to click X to close that, and I'm going to go to my spellbook and abilities. Okay, so in my spellbook, I've got all these different abilities on this general tab. And as I progress through the game, I'm going to get new abilities. They're going to show up here, and I have different pages on that tab of abilities. So check those out. You can put your mouse over them and you'll get a little bit of information about what that does for you in the game. I then have my different spell abilities, or melee or fighting abilities, depending on what class I've chosen. So I can look through those. Now I notice here that I have the Crusader Strike ability. Here we see that down here on the toolbar, and that's under the Retribution area of specialization. Specializations are something also you'll learn about later. But as I get new abilities, they'll show up here, and early in the game they'll automatically show up in my toolbar down here, or my ability bars. Okay, so let's close that and let's look at the next window. The next window is called the talent tree, but since I'm not level 11, that's not going to show up for me yet. So I don't get, actually I'm sorry, level 10. I don't have to worry about that until I get to level 10. But talents basically means that level 10 and from certain levels on, you'll get ability points which allow you to really specialize in certain areas. So you get to take your class and really kind of fine-tune them to whatever your style is. You also have the achievements window, but that again also doesn't show up until you get to level 10. And those are for special things that you've done in the game, little badges and awards, and also has a lot of statistics in there about your play. It's very interesting. Okay, this yellow exclamation mark is a very important window. It's called the quest log. So quests are your main way of advancing in this game and involve the reading and really what we are interested in, or one of the things we're interested in education, the literacy aspect of the game. So as I accept quests from computer-controlled characters, or some people call them NPCs, non-player characters, in the game, I'm going to see a list of quests here, and I can click on them and it will give me the text over here. So let's go ahead and accept a quest so that we can see that here. You'll notice that Joran Ironstock here, this local mountaineer captain, has a quest for me, and I know this because he has this yellow exclamation mark floating over his head. So if I click on him, well, let me tell you what's on my mind. We're talking about WoW here. If I right-click on him, or control-click him on a Mac, then he's going to offer me a quest. And so I would read through this. Now, again, with your teacher lenses on as you're reading quests, be sure to look at the reading level here and the kind of problem solving that these quests involve. He then tells me what rewards I'll be able to choose upon completion of that quest. Notice that it's gear that would go into my character window here to make my character better equipped for battle. I also get some money. Money can be used to buy things in the game. And then the most important part, my experience points. And experience points are going to advance me in the game. So yeah, I definitely want to do this quest here. He's wanting me to hold the line, or help him fend off these Rockjaw invaders. So I'm going to click accept. And look that the tutorial has given me some information, because now, you know what, I'm going to have to move. The primary means of moving around in this game are the A, W, S, and D keys. So I'm a right-handed person, so I usually leave my right hand on my mouse and my left hand I put on my keyboard. So if I hit S, I go backwards. If I hit W, I go forwards. A and D rotate me right and left. Now the game is also telling me how to identify the Rockjaw invaders, and as if I didn't know who was invading here, these guys are constantly coming after Joran here. I can find out more about them here. But let's go back and look at that quest log. Now I have a quest in my quest log. It shows me that it's in Cold Ridge Valley. This is the area of the world where this quest is. As you advance in the game, you'll start getting quests from multiple different areas around the world. Alright. Now, I also can go back and review the quest, so it's kind of like going back and reading the instructions. We've never heard that before in the classroom, have we? So go back and read your quest if you forget what the quest is all about. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And let's keep looking here. So Guild Finder. Guild Finder is a tool that allows you to look for certain kinds of guilds. Guilds are player communities in the game, and so you can find different guilds to suit different kinds of play styles. And if you're part of the WoWinSchool project and you are on the Sisters of Elune server, I would highly encourage you to look at joining the Cognitive Dissonance Guild. It's a guild of teachers and educators. Okay, let's keep looking through the different tools here. Player versus player is not something you need to worry about again until you're level 10, and this is a specialized form of gameplay where you're playing against other players. It's really quite fun and very challenging because players are not predictable like computers can sometimes be. The Dungeon Finder is also available to you, but at level 15, and this is where you go into especially difficult challenges, but usually includes a lot better rewards, and you get to play with other players. So check the Dungeon Finder out once you reach level 15. Your Dungeon Journal will give you different information about the different dungeons in the world, so you can click on those, find out the story behind it, and talk about what kind of creatures you're going to encounter there. Very interesting information. Raids are large groups for large dungeon encounters. Probably won't have a lot of opportunity in the early levels to explore those, but you will soon, and they are lots of fun. Okay, so let's take a look at this computer, the game menu. Lots of stuff here, and I'm not going to go through all of this, but I want to show you a couple of important things. One is the help. You can always get help if you click on this, and it will tell you, this is if you're having bugs in the game or something going on. Let's go back and take a look at your options. Options give you some things so you can change your graphics settings here. If your game is running kind of laggy or slow, you might change some of these settings and lower them a little bit, and then click apply and then OK. Let's see, a lot of this other stuff wouldn't worry about too much. Do take a look at sound, especially if you're using Ventrilo. You may want to put certain sound settings on. You can change your game volume here, lower that overall, or if you want to customize like the sound, the music, or the ambient sound, you can change those as well. And then of course you can turn certain types of sounds on and off. So that's important. Interface, lots of things to change here. I wouldn't worry about this too much at this time. If you ever run into an issue, just ask someone and they can direct you to the particular area here that you might need to take a look at. But for the most part, the default settings are going to work fine for you. Key bindings and macros are a little more advanced. Don't worry about those right now. And then you can always log out or exit the game from here. Now the difference between log out and exit, log out will take you back to your character selection screen. So yeah, I've played my paladin for a little while, but I'm looking for some spell power action, so I'm going to go play my mage for a little bit. Well, just click the log out button and that'll take you back to your character selection screen, and you can switch characters there. But if you're done, time to take a break, go eat some dinner, that kind of thing, go ahead and click exit game. And when you're done changing your options and looking through this, you can return to game. And then of course the help request is the same that I showed you here. It's the same button. So that's available to you as well. Okay, moving along, we have our inventory here, and these are empty container slots. Now right now I don't have any bags here, but as I explore the world, I'll probably pick up some bags and I can carry more things, or I can go buy them. If I click on this, let me close this tutorial button here. If I open this bag, then I can see the things I've picked up in the world, and I can also see how much money I have. So you'll notice that as you progress through the game, you're going to want more bags to fill up these slots to carry more. Okay, real quickly here, we also have our quest tracker, which is going to give me quick up-to-date information about quests that I'm on. They'll show up here. This is my mini-map. You'll notice as I rotate left and right, the little arrow rotates left and right, and that center is me in the map. I also can find out if I have mail waiting for me, the calendar, and the world map. Take a look at the world map. This is going to show me where I am, so the region and that I'm currently in, which is part of a larger region, and if I zoom out, which is here, and part of a larger continent, and part of multiple continents. It's a very big world. Happy exploring.